iLEAD is organizing Future Vista, the New Age Careers, a conclave that will witness the presence of dignitaries from various sectors.
This will help the young minds choose the right career path for themselves and also industries to build new enthusiastic entrepreneurs and a passionate workforce, paving the way for pioneering innovations and futuristic ideas.
Today's session is titled The Art of Visual Storytelling Through Cinema.
The subject of today's discussion, I should say, is both very apparently trivial and also vast. It's trivial because, after all, we work in an audiovisual medium, right? Whatever films, whatever television shows, anything that you see, there is some visual. So any film you make has some kind of a visual storytelling in it. So what is there to discuss? You make a film, it has visual storytelling.
How does a person think about the involvement or change? What shapes this? What goes on in his mind? Believe it or not, these are the aspects that are taken into consideration in building his world. Suppose we are building his house, his room, the place where he works. We start off from the character. Now we go on to the ways of doing things. How does this person work? What is his profession? And what are his habits? Then we come on to his connections, his relationships. How is the person connected to? With whom is he connected to? Who are there in his family? What are the objects that he uses? Suppose he is a taxi driver. So the taxi is a very important component of his life. So that object is intricately connected to his existence. Then there are certain other aspects. What does he like to do? What are his pleasures? And also some other aspects which are very close to his life. So all this we consider first for building the story world. And then we go to the text, the script.
About sound, the perception, I just want to talk about that a little bit. That perception is that it's a bit too complicated. It's a bit mysterious. I just try to enter from this into that storytelling part. There are two things to really consider. One is obviously the technical aspect of sound. The technical aspects are, it's hugely democratized, basically. Things are not that mysterious anymore. We all have sound recording equipment with us all the time now, and we record sound. We share them, we listen to them. It's not that mysterious anymore, and that's for good. But another thing, and also, I mean, when you work with that material later, it's not really a super mystery anymore. Literally 2-3 months, a proper training can make someone a moderately good sound editor. The problem is that we don't really understand or consider how to think about sound. We all can record, but what do we do with the recording? Why I'm saying this, because the general perception is, you have to consider, it's quite interesting. Let's say I just capture a yellow cab in Calcutta, passing on this street. I can take a photo and put it up on the wall right now, and it will actually tell you something. And I can complicate that question a little bit. That how does it sound when it rains outside? How does it sound at 2 a.m. in the morning? How does it sound when it's 40 degree outside, 1 p.m. Kolkata? How does it sound in the early morning in winter? And if you actually think while I'm talking, I'm sure you'll be able to think, and you'll be able to find differences in all these situations. Kind of different soundscape that you actually hear in your own place, which you think that you know in and out. So I'm talking about this consciousness, basically. Sound is not something which is alien. we human being and all the non-humans who live with us, we make sound.
Sound is also basically to create an illusion of reality. How many of you have seen Nayok? Most people have. All right. What is your impression of the train? It was taken from a moving train, wasn't it? Right, yeah. It fooled the entire world. In the Western world, where they are technically much more advanced, even there, people were fooled into believing that Mr. Ray had actually shot it inside a moving train. It was all an illusion, and it was created by sound. Absolutely. I'll tell you how. There is a scene where Uttam Babu, whatever his name is now, right? He opens the door. It's an air-conditioned place, air-conditioned coach compartment. The train is air-conditioned. It's all right, Rajdhani. And suddenly, as he opens the door, the sound hits you like a dang, 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 and he contemplates whether he wants to commit suicide or not. And he decides, maybe not. And then he closes the door, and the sound is immediately muted. This kind of thing had created the illusion that the train was moving. There were other elements were brought in. It was a stationary train. It was a stationary compartment created, slightly shorter than in real life, smaller than in real life. And people, actually, it was mounted on a kind of spring, and people had actually heave it to create that illusion of the train's lateral movement and that kind of thing. So far for reality. So I think, everything that we go to create, acting, photography, everything, the reality is what you see or what you hear. That creates the mood, that creates the belief.